Hi, everyone. Welcome to the WAC repository and the field guide to effective AI use. This exhibit is an experimental research project undertaken by 6 educators to explore a new way for defining, discussing, modeling, and demonstrating the type of AI use that we may or may not want to see from students in the age of AI. My name is Mike Kentz. I'm an educator, researcher, writer, and founder of AI Literacy Partners, and the organizer of this exhibit. Participating in this project are also university professors Jason Gulia, Doan Winkle, and Lance Cummings, and high school educators Nick Pokolitsky and Kara Kennedy. This video will provide a short overview of the exhibit so that you can more easily navigate and analyze the content. First, what is the field guide? The field guide seeks to make 3 core arguments around AI use in the context of education. Number 1, AI transcript analysis needs to become an entirely new field of study, a new discipline. Number 2, ethical or effective AI use can only be defined and determined on a relative basis through comparison. And number 3, it is possible to benchmark AI use in the context of our educational activities. Ultimately, engaging in comparative analysis allows students, educators, and even professionals to understand what types of thresholds they should be seeking to attain when they use AI. As such, this exhibit represents a self-reflective and observational manual. Inside, you'll find that all 6 educators, including myself, have shared transcripts of their own AI use in educational settings. They then analyzed and annotated their own use on the page through the lens of efficacy and ethics. For example, you'll see Lance Cummings engaging with Claude around plans for a study abroad trip with his students, Jason Gulia engaging with ChatGPT around a curriculum-based approach, Kara Kennedy preparing for a tutoring session, and my discussion with ChatGPT around rubric creation and generating learning activities for my high school English students. Now, to be clear, none of the educators involved in this exhibit are making the claim that the usage practices you see on the page are correct or the right way. Instead, this exhibit aims to open up discussion around whether or not transcript analysis can be used as a methodology for defining ethical and effective use. And taken a step further, is it possible that these transcript interactions are precisely the model we need to show students what it means to use AI ethically? So, you will see embarrassing moments, like in my chat, when I accepted a rubric that was clearly flawed after not engaging in a close enough reading, and a variety of different approaches. They are here for you to analyze and consider on your own. Now, where did this come from? The story of the genesis of this exhibit in this project is available in the foreword. You'll hear about my experience with students and how I asked them to analyze transcripts of a fictional student engaging with AI. And I use this as a way of establishing safe and effective and ethical practices in my classroom. The foreword also places this methodology in the context of educational and cognitive research. First, it connects the concept to writing and transfer theory, which argues that writing skills can be transferred across a variety of domains and that metacognitive approaches to producing language, whether inside of an interaction with AI or not, represent the best pathway towards effective communication, collaboration, and creativity. You'll also see 4 chapters that place this methodology in a cross-disciplinary educational and pedagogical context. You'll read about its connection to Marshall McLuhan, constructivist learning, cognitive science, and more. In short, there are many connections between this burgeoning field of study and our established educational practices. So these chapters and examples aim to serve as a discussion starter. Perhaps the easiest way to think about this is if we want to show students how to use AI ethically, perhaps we need to start by analyzing our own use first. Now, what else do I need to know? Three other ideas to keep in mind as you navigate these transcripts. First, you will see that each educator provided a preamble of sorts for their transcript, where they described their personal opinion of what effective AI use means or looks like. They also provided context for the chat itself. Afterwards, you'll see that each educator provided a short reflection around the experience of annotating and analyzing their own usage habits and patterns. Second, as background, I encouraged all five educators to evaluate the user on the page as if it were a student and not themselves. So you will see some annotations that follow that mold. I also encourage the educators to consider annotating the chat in a breadcrumb format, wherein the analysis focuses on walking the reader, that's you, through the user's thought process at various points in the chat. Last, you will also see that the educators annotated and evaluated the AI outputs as well. However, this was not necessarily for the accuracy of the output, but more from the perspective of what was I, the user, thinking as I read these outputs, and perhaps what am I thinking now? So, where do we go from here? The goal of this exhibit is to get us talking and to consider whether or not sharing transcripts and discussing our use cases might ultimately allow us to set benchmarks. So I encourage you to reach out to the educators on the page to discuss their experience annotating their own chats. I also encourage you to engage in discussion forums with colleagues and friends. And keep an eye out because we're planning to build an AI transcript book club platform where educators interested in discussing and analyzing meaningful AI use can share their use cases, ask questions, get feedback, and move this field forward. I really appreciate you checking out this exhibit. I would love to get your feedback. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to talk about this and hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.